If you've been trading for any length of time, you've probably felt that itch, the urge to click buy or sell, even when you know you shouldn't. Maybe the market's quiet. Maybe you're bored. Maybe you just had a losing trade and want to make it back. Whatever the reason, you find yourself taking setups that don't quite meet your rules. One trade turns into two, then three, and before you know it, you've traded half the day without any clear reason. That's overtrading. And while it sounds harmless, it's quietly one of the biggest account killers out there. At first glance, overtrading seems like a problem of discipline, just a lack of self-control. But it's actually deeper than that. It's psychological, it's emotional, and in many ways, it's wired into human nature. We're conditioned to believe that the more effort we put in, the more results we should get. In school, studying more hours usually meant better grades. At work, taking on more tasks often led to promotions. But in trading, that formula flips upside down. The more you trade, the more you expose yourself to randomness, noise, and mistakes. The harder you push, the worse your results get. This is one of the hardest lessons for new traders to accept. Sometimes doing nothing is the most profitable thing you can do. The best trades are rarely found through constant action. They're found through patience and waiting. But patience is boring, and boredom is dangerous, because boredom leads to impulse. You start forcing trades just to feel productive, as if being in the market somehow means you're working hard. It's like a fisherman throwing his net into an empty sea because standing still feels like failure. There's a reason professional traders often joke that their best trades are the ones they didn't take. The amateurs are constantly chasing action, trying to fill every quiet moment with movement. Professionals are comfortable with silence. They understand that the market doesn't reward activity, it rewards precision. They're like snipers, not machine gunners. They might take only a few trades a week, but each one is clean, deliberate, and planned. And that makes all the difference. Now let's look at what's really happening beneath the surface when you overtrade. Every trade you take comes with emotional baggage: hope, fear, excitement, doubt. The more trades you take, the more emotional noise builds up. You start reacting to your last trade instead of following your plan. A small loss feels like a challenge you need to win back. A small win makes you overconfident and eager to press your luck. Before long, you're trading your emotions, not your edge. And here's the cruel irony. The market is built to feed on that impatience. It moves just enough to tempt you in, then snaps the other way as soon as you commit. It teases, then punishes. It's like a casino flashing bright lights and spinning wheels, all designed to make you believe there's always another opportunity, always another shot if you just stay in the game. But in trading, the house always wins when you can't walk away. One of the most dangerous forms of overtrading is revenge trading, taking one trade after another to make up for a loss. It's the emotional snowball effect. Each loss increases the pressure to recover, and the more pressure you feel, the worse your decisions become. It's like quicksand. The harder you struggle, the deeper you sink. Professionals know this, which is why they set hard limits. Once they hit their daily loss limit, they stop. They don't negotiate with themselves. They close the charts, step away, and reset. So why do traders keep falling into the trap, even when they know better? The answer lies in dopamine, the brain's reward chemical. Every time you click buy or sell, you get a tiny hit of excitement. It feels good, like you're in control, like you're doing something. But that little burst of dopamine is addictive. It tricks your brain into thinking the act of trading itself is productive, even when it's destructive. Over time, you start chasing that feeling instead of real results. Trading becomes less about strategy and more about stimulation. To make matters worse, social media amplifies the problem. Everywhere you look, someone's posting profits, charts, and flashy trades. It creates an illusion that successful traders are always active, always in the market, always catching moves. But what you don't see are the hours, sometimes days, they spend doing nothing, waiting for the right setup. What you don't see are the dozens of trades they skip because the conditions aren't right. The highlight reels make patience look like laziness, and that's where the trap tightens. To understand why overtrading destroys accounts, let's zoom out and think mathematically. Every trade carries risk. Even with a solid strategy, there's always a probability of loss. The more trades you take, the more you expose yourself to that probability. It's like flipping a coin with a slight edge in your favor. The edge works only over many high-quality flips. But if you start flipping random coins just for fun, your edge disappears. Overtrading is essentially gambling away your statistical advantage. Professionals know this, which is why their goal isn't to trade more, it's to trade better. They measure success not by how many trades they take, but by how closely they follow their plan. Some even keep non-trading logs, days when they stayed disciplined and didn't touch the market. Because in trading, restraint is just as valuable as action. Here's a simple analogy that captures it perfectly. Imagine you're a hunter in the forest. You could run around all day, chasing shadows, making noise, and scaring away everything in sight. Or you could find a good spot, stay still, and wait for the perfect shot. Which one do you think eats dinner that night? The same applies to trading. The more you chase, the more you lose. The more you wait, the more you see. Let's talk about what overtrading does to your mindset. It doesn't just drain your account, it erodes your confidence. Every impulsive trade that fails reinforces the idea that you're not in control. You start doubting your system, your judgment, and eventually, yourself. And once that happens, trading becomes emotional survival, not strategic execution. You're no longer managing trades, you're managing anxiety. The best way to break this cycle is to redefine what productive means in trading. Productivity isn't about being in a trade, it's about being prepared for one. Studying charts, refining your edge, reviewing your journal, these are all productive acts. Sitting on your hands is productive when there's no setup. Walking away from the screen to clear your head is productive. Professionals understand that waiting is work. They treat patience like a skill, not a weakness. There's a quote from Jesse Livermore that sums it up beautifully. "It was never my thinking that made the big money for me. It was always my sitting." The hardest skill in trading isn't predicting price. It's staying still while you wait for it to come to you. And that's what most traders can't do. They can't handle the stillness. So they trade their way into losses, believing motion equals progress. So how do you stop overtrading? It starts with awareness. Track how many trades you take in a day or week. Write down why you took each one. You'll start to see patterns: boredom trades, revenge trades, fear of missing out trades. The next step is structure. Set clear trading hours, trade limits, and daily profit or loss caps. Force yourself to follow them. And finally, build rituals that reward patience. Maybe you review your charts only at specific times. Maybe you take breaks between trades to reset emotionally. Over time, this structure rewires your brain. You start to crave quality over quantity. You begin to feel good about not trading. You stop equating inactivity with failure. And that's when everything changes. Your trades become cleaner, your stress drops, your results stabilize. You start seeing the market like a professional, not as something to constantly conquer, but as something to patiently understand. So the next time you feel that urge to take just one more trade, pause for a second. Ask yourself, am I trading my plan or my emotions? Am I looking for opportunity or just stimulation? Because in trading, the difference between the two determines everything. In the end, the market doesn't reward those who do the most. It rewards those who do the right things at the right time. Overtrading might make you feel active, but it quietly bleeds you dry. Not just financially, but mentally. Fewer trades, higher quality, more patience. That's the formula. The pros know it. The amateurs learn it the hard way. So if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. Doing less isn't lazy, it's discipline. It's the art of saying no until the market gives you a reason to say yes. That's how you stop overtrading. That's how you start trading like a professional.